I want to talk about this weird thing in the sky. Some of you probably, are aware of it already. I've talked a little bit about it, haven't talked a whole lot about it. There's a whole lot of videos out there on it, 3-eye atlas. And this is what's weird about it. We don't know what it's acting like. I mean, we know it's not acting like a comet. It is one of the 3 interstellar objects that we've discovered. That's for the reason for the word, the I letter, interstellar, 3-eye atlas. We don't know what this thing is. Astronomers are really scratching their heads over everything that's occurring with this object. And what interests me is the timing of it all. So this 3-eye atlas, a fascinating interstellar visitor, has shown some truly unusual behavior, color changes being one of them. This is what caught my interest. Okay? I want to talk about first the coal black initial state of that thing, whatever it is. When it was first discovered, it was a very faint object, and its initial appearance was consistent with a typical distant comet. If you were to imagine it's sitting on the Earth, its solid nucleus sitting on Earth, it would be a very dark, sooty, coal black color. This is because comets are generally composed of a mix of ice, dust, and rock, and the outer layers are typically covered in a dark, carbon-rich material. And then we had this red glow. Just in the first few weeks after its discovery, as it began to get closer to the sun and warm up, its coma was observed to have a reddish hue. And this reddish color is not uncommon for comets. It's caused by the scattering of sunlight off of tiny dust particles in the coma. Okay, they were scattering more red light than blue light, giving the comet a reddish appearance. Now, this suggested that the comet was beginning to wake up and shed some of its outermost layers of dust. And then there's a green, emerald green transformation. The most significant and surprising event was the comet's transition from red to green. This is a very rare and dramatic change for a comet. The green color is not due to reflected sunlight, but it's a phenomenon known as gas emission fluorescence. So as the comet gets closer to the sun, the intense solar radiation heats up its nucleus, causing volatile ices to sublimate and release various gases. So in the case of this particular thing, this green glow is a telltale sign of the presence of specific molecules. Don't need to go into those, but when these molecules are exposed to solar radiation, they become excited, and then they emit light at specific wavelengths, with the strongest emissions falling in the green part of the spectrum. So there's a scientific reason for the color changes, folks, okay? But what listen to me here a minute, okay? God works through science. God works through natural laws, okay? It appears to be changing in a way that is not fully understood, and the steep increase in gas production is highly unusual for a comet at its distance from the sun. But now we have the expected white appearance. It's expected to turn white, okay? There's a prediction that it will turn white. That's based on the idea that as it gets even closer to the sun, a different thing will dominate. The green glow from the gas emission will continue, but the comet is expected to also become significantly brighter from a massive increase in dust production. As more and more dust particles are released from the nucleus, they'll begin to dominate the scattered sunlight. And this massive outflow of dust, which scatters all colors of light more or less equally, will cause the overall appearance of the comet to shift toward a more natural white color. The sheer volume of dust would effectively drown out the specific green emissions from the gas molecules. And this white phase would signify the comet's peak activity as it makes its closest approach to the sun. Okay, now, so what colors are we looking at? Black, red, green, and white. This prophetic series of color changes from the initial dark state to a reddish, dusty glow to a vibrant green gas emission and finally to a brilliant white dust-dominated comet is not a coincidence, folks, and it makes 3I Atlas truly unique and an important object for astronomers studying the composition of interstellar comets as well as us, particularly since these four colors are the four horsemen of the apocalypse and they mirror the colors of Islamic nation flags. There, I said it. Okay? Black, famine, the beginning. Okay? All right? Red, war. The shift to red signifies the unleashing of conflict and destruction. It's a viable, it's a visible, fiery sign of turmoil. Then green. There's your death and pestilence. The green color, with its association with decay and toxicity, symbolizes the spreading of a plague or a more insidious form of death. It's a sign that the consequences of war are taking root and growing. And then you have the white. That's conquest. That's the climax. Okay, the final brilliant white phase represents the culmination of this process. The final conquering force that brings everything to an end. All right, this blew my mind when I was, and I don't even know where it came from. I've always followed this thing in the sky. Folks, look, if you follow this channel and you know me, you know I don't believe in coincidences. At this particular time, God is going to send us a rare, not just rare, a unique object from deep interstellar space that's going to confuse scientists on many levels, where it's not going to act like a comet, and there's going to be a lot of puzzlement over this object. The timing of it, the four colors, I can't not mention this. So I don't really know what else really much to say about it, except that I just want to emphasize the fact that God is in control. He said that there would be signs in the heavens, observable signs. I do believe that we are, if not going home this month, I believe we are nearing the end without a question. There's no doubt about it. I have never been dogmatic about any date. I've only proposed, right, all the way back since I started this channel, right from the beginning, all I've ever done is propose the most logical sequence of days along a timeline based upon the available evidence. That's all. That's all I've ever done. It is amazing where we've traveled, where we've come since 2017. This channel began in 2016. And where we've come since then, now this September 23rd being the eight-year anniversary of the Revelation 12 sign, just think about everything that's occurred, everything that's taken place. We are definitely living in unprecedented times. To continue on, watching, waiting, praying for what we all know is going to occur. Look, I love you all. I truly do. Rest in Him above all. I mean, trust Him in all circumstances. That's what He desires the most from us. Till next time, thanks for watching.